If the antique couch or silver in your home has seen better days, don't get rid of it just yet. Maybe you can restore it. Mumford Restoration prides itself on 30 years of making old things look new again. Bernard Mumford is here to explain how. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you suggest that before we decide to restore something, we ask ourselves a few questions about whether it's worth it.
Exactly. The first one is whether or not it has sentimental value.
Okay.
Most important. Next is, does it bring up some family memories of when you were a kid? Mm-hmm. And then the next is it something that's important to you that you want to hold on to for the future? And that's what makes it valuable.
Okay. And if not, maybe you just want to chuck it.
That's right. It's always a decision.
Okay.
Or you can find out what it might cost to restore it, and that might help you decide.
Gotcha. So you can restore just about anything, even if it's water or fire damage?
Correct. Yeah. This is a good example here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What are we looking at here?
This was in a fire just recently up in Roxborough area, and all of these pieces are melted onto the top. The flowers are melted, and the candles.
Oh, wow.
And so the finish has been damaged by the heat and the smoke, but it actually can be restored quite well, just as this before and after shows.
And look like this.
Exactly.
This lovely piece.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got a silver set that looks just like this. Mm-hmm. It can be restored.
It can. And one of the questions you have to ask about this is that if you're continuing to use it, you've got to keep polishing it.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to use it, we can lacquer it so it never tarnishes again, which is the greatest thing. 15 or 20 years without tarnish.
Okay, if I had a chair that looked like this one, I think I'd just chuck it. I wouldn't even think anybody would worry with fixing it. But as we can see, it might be worth it.
Again, it comes back to the sentimental value, and it can be recaned. So those questions really apply to each piece.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Does it take away any value to restore?
That's a great question. A lot of times people will say that you've taken away the value when you restore something, but that true statement has been kind of stretched outside of its normal limits. So consequently, you have a piece that was, say, a Louis XIV piece is not necessarily you want to strip and refinish.
Right.
But a piece that comes from this century, mid-century, very well can be restored to something that increases its value.
Okay, can you tell me give me an example of something that it's just not worth the time or the effort to restore? How badly does it have to be damaged to get to that point?
Well, the example is it really comes back to what's the value to you, because we can fix about anything. We see this trunk behind us here that is also in a fire, or this love seat behind us here as well is something that can definitely be restored. Now, you have to measure your sentimental value by the cost, and so that's a decision that each person has to make.
Okay, I would imagine in homes of married couples, the wife may feel one way, the husband may feel another way. So partners need to talk about restoring things.
Exactly. One of the examples is that many times you'll inherit it and your partner hates it. And so then what are you going to do? You have to make a decision, because your partner has to be involved in order to get the checkbook out to restore it. So you have to be in unison on that to make sure that it's something you want to use long term.
Okay. If for viewers watching and they're thinking about getting something restored, should they call you up or come see you? How do they determine whether they've got a piece that can be restored? Well,
they certainly can. They can go to our website and look at our gallery to check all the different pieces to see if there's one like theirs, and then they can certainly call us. We're right here in Raleigh.
Okay, thank you so much. If you are interested in getting a personal item repaired, check out Bernard Mumford at mumfordrestoration.com.